Hi, my name is Chef Damien Reid. I am executive chef at Baobab Kitchen, my own company. I've been cooking for the past 20 plus years. All right. So my childhood dealing in the kitchen would be an ideal day for me in the kitchen would be not cooking, eating eating my mom's food, my grandmother cooking. Cooking is a thing where I used to eat, and I love to eat, but not so much to cook in my early ages, in my early years, childhood years. So, um, you know, although I'm inspired now by back then, I remember obviously the flavor profiles, and I would watch and see what my grandmother and my mother done. But it was only till in my mid-teens that I really developed an interest in the kitchen and actually helping out in the kitchen. Well, I always like stew food. I always like ground provisions. Um, so anytime my mom would cook or my grandmother would cook ground provisions, that would be my forte. Yeah. Well, I let me just take it back to probably fifth form. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do in fifth form, so I took up home economics and food and nutrition. It was food and nutrition. Yeah, it was food and nutrition. And out of all the subjects that I chose, at that time, I really really enjoyed two of those because I always love to learn how to make new things. I always find it intriguing that you could just take normal ingredients that you see every day and just make something wonderful. So that really started my journey and really piqued my interest. And then there was a girl at the school. Her mom was a chef. She came one day and she did a demonstration. And what she did with these fruits and vegetables and whatever she had and transform it into something so wonderful in my eyes. And then the taste was phenomenal. So I was like, I think I could do this. I really think that, I have the knack for this, So in that point, it really propelled me to really pursue it. So from there, upon leaving school, I applied at the Polytechnic to do electrical installation, and then I applied to Pomeranian to do culinary arts. So I didn't get into the electrical installation. I just, did it because I had to do something. My mom wouldn't not have me doing anything. So yeah, I got into Pomeranian, and yeah, from there was history. Um, I just like the adrenaline of the kitchen. I like it was a whole new different world. It was very different to learning home economics and food and nutrition at school, because it was done in a more structured way. So it was a whole different experience. It was like a new universe, a new world, and I'm always intrigued by new things. So you know, yeah, that was it was a new exploration. Um, I do because when I first started Pomeranian, um, I was always call myself I just gotta catch up. I I just go start here, right? So when I started Pomeranian, I struggled a lot. At one point in time, I was like, I don't think I could. I had the will, but the I didn't have. At the time, I thought I did. I wasn't that good. I had to develop my confidence because the other students were way ahead. I would always be the one to finish last, and I would do something wrong, make a lot of mistakes. It was, yeah, for sure. That's one of my strongest attributes is determination. So I had to be very determined to make it through those 2 years at Palmerine because not only did I was I doing culinary arts like baking and cooking and stuff like that. It was also academics. We did law, and I always wondered why gotta learn law just to cook. You know what I mean? It didn't make sense then, and it still don't make sense now for me. But it's saying it had to do. We had to do math. It had to do all various subjects. Some not corresponding with the same cooking. So yeah. From Pomeranian, I did not an internship. I did like a job placement at the Hilton Barbados, and it was a couple of us that did it, and upon completion of it, we it was accepted. So they offered me a job, so I worked there for about 5 years in every department. So that gave me a real good sound foundation of how a kitchen is work and how every department works within a big establishment. So it was a valuable stepping stone. And then again, for the first couple of weeks, I can't remember how long it was, but for the time period, it was a learning. It was like restarting and relearning what we did at school. Because doing things at school, we learn one way, but then they're doing it another way. Similar ways, but sometimes shorter. You learn shortcuts, or you learn something, a different way. Period. So, it was just adjusting and learning how to adjust to a new environment. That's one thing that I learned that stood out, because being at school is school, but then being in a work environment, there are very many variables. So different personalities, different organizational structure, different working hours. That was a big one, because obviously at school you're working, you're doing work at school, you're having, these hours, but then you're going to the work world where you're working more than 8 hours, sometimes 10, 16, sometimes 2 shifts, intense labor. So yeah, learning to adapt, I would say, to each environment. But I like Caribbean food, so I mean all the other cuisines are wonderful. I enjoy doing them, but I always like Caribbean food. That's my background, so I would say a curry. I like to do a good curry. You know. Yeah, they got all, but I just curry in period. I just like the method of curry. So you wanna know what? I want to say the simplest meal, but I would say what people a lot, especially Caribbean people, fish. See, cooking fish, um, they tend to overcook it because they cook it too long. Some fish only require like 30 seconds each side, on a high heat or medium heat. But if you're frying or grilling, you know, but some we keep the fish on for 3 minutes, and by that time the fish done dry up, done curl up, done. So that's one of the things. It's not a particular dish, but fish is easy to cook for um, people think. But to me, that's the easiest thing to mess up, the hardest thing to get right. I would probably do a soup. I would use, I love doing soup, so I would do a nice soup, whatever um, local ingredients in season, because they like to go by the season. Whatever is plentiful, so I would probably give them a soup. I would main course for sure, as I said, in season again, breadfruit. Can't beat breadfruit. Fish.
Boiled, breadfruit.
Really and truly, I like breadfruit too, but I would do it. Yeah, we could do breadfruit too, but a roast breadfruit is nice as well. They really like that method. Roasts have a different flavor altogether. You could do a lot. You could stuff it. You could do a lot with roast breadfruit. For sure, fish. If it's flying fish, and they could get flying fish. Like today, I got some flying fish for a client that usually comes every year. Love Barbados. Love fresh fish. So for sure, that on the menu with some curry goat. Yeah. So it's a curry goat. Yeah. So dessert. I would get on point, but I would do it different. It's same basis pone, but I would add different components. Yeah. Especially in my early years as a chef, watching these guys um, go to competitions, so they would have gone to like international competitions and really push the the banner of Caribbean food and Bajan food. So from there, it really inspired what I do. And along with other chefs, for sure, because it is ours. you know, and we still have a lot of developing to do, because the whole world now, in terms of food and international chefs, most of them, like 90% of them, back their own cuisine, even if they fuse it with another type of cuisine. Whatever country they're from, they back their cuisine and they develop it, into something different, because that's how the world of food is going now, right? So, I feel like the Caribbean, a lot of us tend to look on the outside, be inspired by other countries, and that's cool. But I feel that we got a lot here that we could use, that we could show the world, well, look, we on this platform, we are on this type of level, we have flavors, we have ingredients, just like any other country, all matched, So I really like the flavors, Caribbean flavors, the thyme, the marjoram, the Scotch bonnet, the the chives. There's nothing like fresh herbs used in the pot. Once used in correct manner, you know, it's amazing. It's memorable. Um, I always say it comes down to personal choice. So it's whatever the person choose to have, right? But um, I think Bajan food, Caribbean food. I don't think that it is not. I think it's still number one in the Caribbean, obviously, right? Because native to your land, your palate always adjusts first to your food. So it's always like a come back home kind of thing. Even when people venture and like other cuisines, you know, they always still tend to gravitate to the first love, which is usually the food that you grew up on, right? So I hope that answers your question. I can't tell you that. I can't. Not her thing, but I can't. I don't know. I don't know. I just like, maybe my God cut down, but you know the upscale local cuisine. A lot of they start to enhance it. You know, just not settling for just what it was. Like say the same roast breadfruit or the same just sweet potato mash. You know, they will fuse it with something else and, you know, come up with, you know, a creative combination, which obviously for a creative like me, you know, would stimulate my interest, pique my passion. Yeah. All in all, I believe one is full from the next. So some days, you know, thinking like a poet, pairing things together, or whether it be writing the menu in a, you know, a poetic way, and letting it come through food. So it's like a fusion, like a dance between both of the arts, being a poet and a chef. Before I was doing spoken word, I was a rapper. I used to rap. So my background really was rap before I was a poet. So most of the time, not most of the time, 100% of the time, I was inspired by rap artists, you know, overseas rap artists, the patterns, sometimes the cadence, you know, the rhyme schemes, all then things, those things inspire me, you know, into the spoken word. Yeah, for sure. Like Becky, right? So this is the one that the quote that I just always think about every time I either cooking or doing spoken word, writing a piece, whatever. And it's by Biggie Smalls, right? And he says, "Excellence is my presence," right? So I embody that like from my teens, from a long time ago, you know, and I explore that. I explore that quote. I explore it by every time I do whatever I do. I always look back and see if it is a standard of excellence in my book, you know, because for me, I am my hardest critic. That's a fact. And, you know, I somewhat, I'm always real with myself. You know, I ain't trying to be delusional. I being real. All right, I hear this way I am. You know, is it good enough for me? Is it, you know? you ask your questions, you ask yourself the questions first. You know, you gotta validate yourself first. You know, before the world. Exactly. So yeah. So the excellence is my presence. That's always stick with me. I even had it stitched in my knife bag when it was when it was going for a break. I had a guy stitched it in my knife bag, so you know it's stitched in my heart. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, because most of the time when it was at work, not working for myself and working for a company or you know a business like that, not having enough time to write poetry, I would have to write it on the fly on a piece of paper, maybe a little pocket book. You know, I still carry to this day when I got ideas. Um, it happened naturally, you know. The transition was not a aha moment. It was you know you could do this way type of vibe. You know, it wasn't a light bulb going off in my head. It was more like a smooth. Cause all I used to, as I tell you, used to carry word the book. I used to always think in poetry. Um, Later I realized that you know even if I telling a joke or doing an imitation of somebody or doing something crazy, it's always be a concept. So it's like next is like my nature. Yeah, for sure. I did NIFCA numerous of times, I guess. Um, I got I got awarded for my work. Silver, bronze. I did a year. The last year I entered. I won a award for a piece I did called City Lights. It was a Ricky Babu Paris Award. I can't remember what the award was for, but it was for City Lights. It was I my pieces been in national plays. Um, yeah, other things I got really sit down and think. Well, I mean, it was my end goal to always not work for anybody. You know, from the get go. You know, from the time I wet my foot in the industry, I know that you see this is not a place I really want to stay for a long period of time because I always am on way. I like it my way. That's the reason though, because I like creating and I like doing things how I like doing them. And you know, being in a space where you can't create that much, that's stunting my growth of creativity. Um, Creativity for me is the pillar, is the foundation of what I do. So, in order for me to move forward in this creative energy, I had to, you know, I had to, I have to own my own space. I have to have my own business, and I have to get out these ideas, which I have plenty, and manifest them into reality. You know, so that's it for me. Um, the Baobab Kitchen is my space of creativity because I could create whatever I want. You know, most of the time whenever I want. Yeah, so that's it for me. Creativity, you know, coming up with new concepts, new ideas, whether it be a menu or ingredient or a product or it don't matter. Um, before before I did Baobab Kitchen, I was already doing private chef work, so it was it wasn't a hard transition because when you're in the circuit a long time, you meet people, you start to network, you start to understand how the game goes. You know, I was working with a good friend and mentor of mine, Dean Sadler, Caribbean Village Chef. Big up Dean, always. And from there, I branch out and transition into doing my own thing for a while on the private chef circuit, and then I built my own kitchen after that and established everything that I saw in my mind thus far.
That sounds like you guys are doing that kitchen.
Yeah, we still in the toddler stage because it's only this year this cycle will be 6, so it's still a child, you know. Um, yeah, for sure. Like in my menus, the way how I would word some of them, you know, it is from poetry, the art of wording, the art of enticement, the art of seduction. So the poetry that really plays that part in writing menu, and also the way how I would view um, my parents is is almost like the same energy or the same vein in my mind. How you would put together a nice concept or punchline in your piece is the same way that you put together a nice um, pairing. You know, yeah, something that will complement the meal, something that will enhance the flavor. You know, whether it be a herb or a spice or fruit or or both. Because I am the type of person, even from using poetry or repetition. If something ain't right, I can go over it or numerous of times. It could be 100, it could be 50. It's the same way I do in my food. So if something isn't right, even on the plate, if it doesn't look right, I can look. You do a plate 3 or 4 or 5 times. I can go back to the drawing board, look and see where, because plating is a skill by itself. You know, plating is a skill by itself. You eat with your eyes. So even within that, I find great joy. Plating is one of my favorite things to do. So I learned the repetition from poetry, and I took it and put it into the food. Being able to do something constant and constant and rework it. Yeah, so that's how we operate. Well, as I said earlier in the interview, um, I knew that I didn't want to work for anybody um, for a long period of time. So I was gathering all of my information. So that was the seed part. That was the seed. I was gathering the information, being germinated like a seed, and you know after I got my information or what I was looking for, I burst through the ground, being a little seedling, a little tree that you could barely see, that little small baobab tree, and then obviously after years of nurturing and watering, the plant grew, which is the baobab tree, which is a tall, gigantic tree one of the biggest trees in the world, and the branches, sorry, the trunk could be used to host people. The fruit obviously used to eat, and the fibers of the tree you can use to clothe yourself. So, you know, all of that I embodied and encompass my business as a, a business where, you know, is diverse and multifunctional. So, hence the Baobab tree, the tree of life. You know, there are 2 Baobab trees in Barbados. I heard someone tell me there's another one. I can't remember where, but on paper there are 2. Yeah. So the Baobab tree. You know, establishing my roots in the beginning. You know, bursting out in the seedling, and here you see the tree, and then, you know, obviously the branches is when it was branching out doing different things. I is a young tree. I I grew to the height of the scale that a Baobab tree in its might or prime, or, you know, but it's growth. You know, it is seen. It is being seen. So I would say I in the scene stage. Oh, yo, there's a Baobab tree there. You know. Well, I have a website, as you mentioned. My website is www.baobabkitchen.com. I also have Instagram, the Baobab Kitchen on Instagram, and Facebook, the Baobab Kitchen on Facebook. Always put your purpose first. Always put your dreams first. You don't give up on the thing that you really love, or you feel so passionate about, or you burn in your heart to explore. But more than likely, that's the thing that will make you happy, rather than chasing after money and chasing after comfort. Because sometimes the thing that you love, it might not be the most comfortable thing to do. It might not be the most, you know, on paper it might not make no sense, as we did say, but it will make sense to you, and you will have a peace of mind for sure doing the thing that you love, even if you can't do it. If it's something that you can't do full time for the time being, you still pursue it, because, you know, life is fleeting and fading every day. You know, we get older, so I will always tell people, you know, go and do the thing that is meant you take. You know, so that's for sure. That's for the next generation. Those standing a job for 20 years and unhappy and grumbling. I could have do this. I could have. Nah, take the risk, take the chance. Because at the end of the day, you don't gonna have any regrets, because you did it. Even if you think you fail, you really don't fail. You just keep moving. You just keep doing it. You re-strategize. I had to re-strategize many times. You know, many times. You know, I had to redo a plan. As I tell you, I tell you, it wasn't easy in the beginning of my career. It was rough, and, and the whole thing is fortitude and determination. You know, gather your tools of your mind, that when you go to war, you're war ready. So, and that's to fight for your dreams and to fight for purpose. A glowing like the come down, oh, this is what you gotta do. Sometimes you gotta go through the dirt, you gotta go through the mud, you know. And that's what make it even more valuable make it more, you know, precious, as you word. I gotta big up my team, um, my marketing, like Dominic, Dominic Ski, my kitchen manager, Carl Griffith, and my sous chef Paul, Laria, and my entire team, Andrea Corbin, that's another chef. Yeah, so yeah, I gotta big up my team for sure, and I couldn't do it without these guys, you know. Them is my them is my core people. My guy Andrea Archer for sure. You
I don't know
can't,
if it's
you
work
can't
with
for,
you,
huh?
but and I say don't know if it's work with you, but you and he seem to have similar. I would say I want to say,
Yeah,
but
we
I
got
want to carry on the stuff.
we got similar. We got similar, very similar for sure. That's my brother. So yeah, big up everybody that had, you know, had a part in my journey that I might not see it in words, but my spirit will forget them. So that's something important that I got to say with my people. I got a good strong support system. That's one thing in business that you need, and by the grace of the creator, you have it. So big up my people right through, 100%. Yeah,
Thank you again for coming on to TV. Right? I know that you're a busy man and you always got a lot of things doing.
yeah, for sure.
So I appreciate you taking a little time and you're here to
Yeah,
sit and have a chat with us.
yeah, anytime, man.
So that is it from me.
Yeah, my name is Chef Damien Reid, Baobab Kitchen, the BaobabKitchen.com. Check me out.